Welcome everybody to this week's KubeVirt community meeting. It is the 6th of August 2025. I'm just going to post the meeting minute notes into chat. I believe you can all see me and see my screen. Do we have anyone who is new this week, or if you're not new, if you haven't introduced yourself before and would like to do so now, you're very welcome to. I'll take that as a no, in which case we shall move along. The schedule check-in. I think I updated this correctly. 1.7. Yeah, I also included this in the meeting minutes. You'll see just highlighting a couple of things for when I send out the minutes after this meeting. So I think the important ones to look out for is the vet freeze, 3rd of September. So it's in roughly 4 weeks. We've got the code freeze here on the 29th of October, and then the release itself on the 19th of November. So this is, I think this was published last week. If I remember correctly, I think I saw something go on the mailing list. So hopefully no one has any concerns with any of those dates. If you do, now might be a good time to raise them and we can talk about them. Otherwise, we'll move on.
Are we talking about the KubeVirt Summit?
We are talking about the version 1.7 schedule.
Oh, okay.
We can talk about the KubeVirt Summit in just a second. Let me just check the events. I haven't updated this since I got back, so it's out of date. I'm not entirely sure what else we've got except for KubeVirt Summit. So today is the last day for the KubeVirt Summit CFP, and I've also included the registration page. I can see a question from Vladik. Do we have to go with CNCF managing this event? Can we manage it ourselves and move the dates? So I believe we do have to go with the CNCF to manage this event. Yeah, with regards to moving the dates, super awkward because it's now an established date, and we've got over 100 people who have registered for it, and we have over 100 CFPs for a specific date. If there is, I know I've heard from 2 people on the mailing list, at least last time I checked the email. If there is like a very strong feeling from the community, I can push harder about moving that date. Yeah, now's a good time to talk about it.
Well, I think from my point of view, there will be a large amount of community developers and approvers and just in general core people of this community who will be missing, and that's unfortunate. I'm not sure who was registered, and just in general, thinking about this event, what does it really give us? If there's no way to discuss anything, if there's no way to ask questions, and then letting people to chime in and respond. I mean, in the end, this can be just a collection of presentations. So I don't know. I'm a bit torn here.
No, that's fair. In the past, it has been more of a, it is generally a collection of presentations, then has the format of the Q&A afterwards. I'm always a bit fried running it, so I can't actually remember off the top of my head how much Q&A there is. I think there's always a couple of questions, if memory serves, but not always. Yeah. Does anyone else have an opinion that I'd like to share?
I want to strengthen Vladik's opinion. I also think that it is important that the many people from Israel that wanted to participate in this event be able to. Yeah, I think Shelley gave quick enough notification that it would be problematic. And I hope that the CNCF will consider.
Anyone else? Thank you, Laura.
No, I agree with Vladik. We usually have about somewhere between 75 and 100 people that show up, and I think if a lot of the developers and stuff that can't make it, we'd probably drop about half of that. So I don't know if it's worth all the effort and time at that point. So.
Thank you, Alexander. Well, I can go back to CNCF and I can see what more we can do, and what the impact will be. Thank you all for sharing those opinions. If anyone else has anything to say, now's a good time for it. Or if you want to ping me or add it to the mailing list, I think the more voices that weigh into this, the stronger our grounds will be to move it, basically. And if you just want to ping me personally as well, that's also totally fine. Does anyone want to add anything to that before we move on? All right. So KubeVirt version 1.6 was released. Hopefully everyone saw the email that went out. As I understand it, this was a multi-delayed release, but it's finally with us. You can see all the necessities here. We also have the 1.7 schedule has been released. We covered this earlier. Any questions about any of that or comments? All right. A quick note from me, all the recordings for the meetings while I've been away should now be on all the respective minutes pages. Thanks for your patience with all that. I wanted to get a temperature check on this. So typically what we do is after the meeting, we'll send them out for most of the SIG meetings, if not all of them. Do people derive value from these being sent to the mailing list, or is this just like more email that gets filtered out? And especially in the cases where the email hasn't been sent and we've now got the completed minutes with the chats and the recordings, is it worth sending out like a compendium of those that got missed? I'm just kind of like checking to see whether or not we can, if this is worth doing or is just something we could stop without any loss.
I'm trying to attend all of these meetings, so I don't have I don't have a value.
It has a value if you miss, so yeah.
So are you saying it is valuable to send out the meeting minutes?
If you miss one, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you're asking the wrong group of people if it's valuable since we're here, and for us it's not very valuable since we were there live. So.
Well, I don't know if you attend the SIG Compute meeting or if you attend I think the Computing Confidential meetings or the SIG Scale Performance meeting. All those minutes get sent out as well. I know you attend the SIG Storage meeting, so I presume you attend the SIG Storage meeting.
Yes.
Uh-uh.
Yes.
Ah.
You know, the ones that I'm interested in, I attend. So for me, you know, if I miss one, it could be useful, but most of the time I attend them, so it's not very useful for me personally.
Okay. I also figure the people that would normally attend them already know where the minutes are, and so they can always go back and look at them. I don't think it's any secret where we keep our minutes and where the recordings are kept for people that do want to go back. That's kind of like one of the things that made me consider, are we doing this just because we always did it? Yeah, point taken. I'll take that to the mailing list because there's the mailing list people, I guess the people who aren't attending the meeting but are following the community through the mailing list who are probably more likely to be affected. Lee.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. So yeah, I just wanted to raise something that I'd already brought up on the mailing list, and there's been lots of discussion around already as well. Something that's not controversial at all, but I just wanted to ask the question regarding AI contribution policies and KubeVirt, if folks think the project as a whole needs one, and what that would potentially look like. Yeah, the issue includes various examples for, against, and neutral regarding AI-based contributions. There's back and forth in there already, as I said. So yeah, in terms of feedback, if folks have got kind of strong opinions now that they want to air on this call, feel free to do so. But for me personally, I do want to answer the question of how to proceed with this. I did say, I think in my initial email, that I'd start drafting a policy after this meeting, but I think we may need to kind of just figure out exactly what kind of direction we're going to go in with this. I get the feeling that we want to be positive. We want to allow contributions with caveats, but not with caveats, but with some kind of structure around it. Do folks think we need another week of kind of discussion on the issue on the mailing list, waiting for feedback? Could I start drafting something this week, roughly based on what's in there already? Or is there another way of moving forward with this that might be better? I don't know, polling or something random like that. So yeah, if folks have got strong opinions either way, feel free to bring them up now, or advice on how to proceed. I'd appreciate that as well.
All right. So if I may go first, I think we need to have a policy. No matter what, I mean, we need to state what our position here. And I feel like after all of these discussions that we had on the issue, we need to converge, and without having some kind of a document where we could adjust certain phrases, it won't be. I mean, we won't be able to converge. So yeah, if you have the time and to start drafting it, it would be great.
Cool. Yeah. I can find the time. And don't worry, I'm not going to use AI tooling to generate the policy. I will do it by hand, but yeah, I can start drafting something. And if or when folks have big objections to something, then yeah, we can work through it as a normal, I guess, as through a normal PR on the community repo. and go through that flow and try and converge. Like converging on this might be awkward if folks do have strong opinions. I know that in some communities, like I think QM used the example I've got on the issue, you know, folks do have very, very strong opinions on it there. That's not right or wrong. It's just what it is. So it may take some time for us to actually converge. But yeah, if we want to just do it through the normal PR workflow on the community repo, then yeah, I'll start drafting something in the next couple of days and bring it up for discussion next week again.
I think completely avoiding this and saying no, it's also unacceptable. People will just do it. It's like, so at least we need to formalize it. That's my opinion on this.
Cool, I appreciate it. Thank you, Vladik. Anyone else? Any thoughts on this?
Rather than something being included in the commit itself, is this something that we could have triggered by Proud or add a GitHub label in a similar way to my favorite trigger, the release notes field?
Oh, in terms of
the same level of noise.
In terms of the metadata, you mean about, you know, what's helping, which tool is being used?
Exactly.
I think ultimately, if we are going to track that, and that's up for debate, if we are going to kind of ask contributors to include that information or not, if we do, then we would want it in the commit, because GitHub might not be around forever. Or we might move platforms. I know that's unlikely, but yeah, we would. I would assume that if we're going to go through the effort of requesting that metadata, that we want it on the commit itself.
Okay. Yeah. Good point.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll start drafting it this week, and yeah, I'll bring it up next week, and we'll see how far along we can push this for the rest of the cycle, and hopefully get something useful and workable for the community up before too long. Okay, thanks all.
Thank you, Lee, for raising that and for bringing it again to the community meeting. Yeah, I think I agree with all the voices here that it's something we can't ignore, as much as maybe we'd like to potentially ignore it and put our head in the ground. Just a couple of things from the mailing list. These were three things I saw. I don't know if they were brought up in previous community meetings while I was away, but these are things that have been raised that I didn't see an answer to. So I just thought I'd bring them up here so they don't fall through the cracks. The client Python bindings, is this the repo that hadn't been maintained for a long period of time that we couldn't find maintainers for?
Yes, I think so. Didn't we archive it?
We could have done. We archived a lot. I'll look into that. And if so, I can respond to that one. I was hesitant to put this one on because, yeah, I know if Simonia wants to get more attention on this, he knows how to go about that. Just thought I would raise it here because it seems like it's raised some legitimate concern with a bunch of proposals, and I just didn't see any response to this.
So I thought that the code was merged already. So I think the proposal is kind of overcome by events.
Fair enough. In which case, we probably don't need to look at it. And this one, I get the feeling that we talked about this, but it's been a long 5 weeks. Is hibernation a
I'm
thing?
actually really confused by this one because it's my understanding we don't support hibernation, period, because we don't have the necessary things to store the memory and stuff like that on a PVC. So I don't know how they are hibernating. As far as I know, it's not possible unless I'm missing something.
Maybe the VM will be still running. I mean, maybe this is something internal to Windows and not hibernation in terms of us sending the hibernation request. I just assume. Not entirely sure.
We support pausing VMs, but hibernation is literally stopping the storing the state of the memory and everything, and then shutting the VM off, and then when you start it up, you restore the state, but we don't save the state anywhere. So I was really confused by this one.
I mean, I'm not even sure if Windows 11 even supports hibernation anymore. At the very least, they removed the hibernation button. You only have standby. So you can sleep or you can shut down, but at least on my PC, I don't even see a hibernation option.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm not sure. I haven't seen Windows for a while.
And I believe I talked to this person in Slack about this, and they were saying they were hibernating. So I was really confused.
Well, interesting, in my power settings, it actually also talks about hibernating. I think it might also be, that's also a problem with Windows. They have their own standby/hibernating standard. So it might just be that the two things are kind of the same now in Windows and not quite what you have on Linux anyway. So for example, if I put my Windows PC on sleep and hadn't in the BIOS forced it to use Linux standby, it would wake up on its own at some point to try to do updates or so, which is always fun if you have it in a bag or so, because then on the next day your battery is dead and you might just have a very warm bag.
So my question is, can somebody confirm that I'm not crazy and we do not actually support hibernation? Because
You're not crazy. I mean, we definitely don't support hibernation from KubeVirt point of view, but this could be a different route. I mean, this could be something internal to Windows, which I'm not entirely sure what the result of this hibernation would be. Does it mean that Windows shuts down at that point and just keeps its state in memory? So I'm not entirely sure. But from KubeVirt point of view, we definitely don't support it yet.
Gotcha. So you're thinking maybe Windows is doing its own like storing stuff on its disk somewhere, and then when it boots up, it restores from there.
Yes, I just don't know what the flow look like from within Windows.
But also, if you notice, it says that the system firmware does not support hibernation. So I would be interesting to find out if plain QEMU and KubeVirt does support it, like or is it our specific firmware which is not working, or what's the issue?
We can just ask this on the mailing list. And,
Andrew, could we ask you to ask the person if they found it working on the plain QEMU and KubeVirt?
I can. Someone that understands the context of it might actually word the response a bit better than I can.
Okay, I get it.
Is there something that's worth also asking for them to raise an issue for, or potentially an enhancement if it is not something that we can do? Is it like, is this a useful feature for KubeVirt?
It is, but it involves a lot of moving parts,
Okay.
which we didn't converge on yet.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. Thank you all for that. I believe that brings us to the bottom of our agenda. I didn't cover pull requests or bug scrubs because I'm passing the buck on to Seek Compute, which will start in approximately 50 seconds. Just before we go, does anyone have anything they'd like to bring up at the last minute? Okay, thank you everyone for being here. And also, thank you all for being a part of getting version 1.6 out the door, and for just generally everything you do and being awesome. It's nice. It's nice to be back at work and working with people like you guys. Thanks all. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.